So I thought to give you one more example regarding the formulation of LPP problems, for your better understanding and gaining confidence. So let us start with another problem. And one more thing, if anyone of you want to have a definition of LPP, I have written it over here. You can note it down, or you can just take a screenshot. It says a model which is used for optimum allocation of scarce or limited. Okay, scarce means limited, not having enough, to competing products or activities under assumptions as certainty, linearity, fixed technology, and constant profit per unit is known as linear programming. Okay, now let us come to the LPP problem. Okay, this particular LPP problem says a company manufactures two products X and Y which require the following resources. Okay, the resources are the capacity machines M1, M2 and M3. The available capacities are 50, 25 and 15 hours respectively in the planning period. Product X requires 1 hour of machine M2 and 1 hour of machine M3. Product Y require 2 hours of machine M1 and 2 hours of machine M2 and 1 hour of machine M3. The profit contribution of products X and Y are rupees 5 and 4 respectively. Look, this type of problems you are going to face in your examinations, and you have to formulate this. Okay, only this you can see, this is the problem you are going to have in the particular exam. From this you have to chalk it out how to formulate the LPP. So stick to the video, see last of the video, so you can have a clear idea of how to formulate a particular LPP, and you will have a confidence to solve it in your exam also. Okay, so I'll help you how to solve it. Okay, let us start. Look, the problem says two products X and Y. Okay, so I will just write it over here. Okay, now before I start, I must tell you, for maximization we will be having the constant, I think it is not visible. Okay, for maximization the constant will be having less than equal to symbol. For minimization the constants will be having greater than equal to symbols. Okay, we will see it during the formulation of LP. Let us start with the problem. Two products X and Y. Why you are having this type of problem? Just see which products they are manufacturing. X and Y say. So just write it down as X and Y. These are the steps I want to tell you in a simple way, so that you will learn very easily and you will have more confidence in solving this LPP, or you can say in formulation of this LPP problems. Okay, so first write the two products over here, just like that, X and Y. Okay, then see the resources. The resources are the capacity machines M1, M2, M3. Just write the capacities beside over here. Okay, M1, say M2 and M3, just like that. Okay, this is the first step. Next, see, now the available capacities are 50, 25 and 15 hours respectively in the planning board. Just you have to write the available capacities of these are the available capacities of this particular machines. Okay, so you just have to write accordingly, just like that. Be careful. So be attentive. In the session you will learn how to formulate LPP in a very simple way. Okay, just stay attentive. Look, 50, 25 and 15 are the maximum capacities of M1, M2 and M3. Okay, and this is the X and Y are the product. So the next step is you have to write it over. For M1, that is 50 is given over, so just write it over here, M1. Okay, next 25 is given over here, so just write 25. Next 15 is given over here, so just write 15. Okay, next step is over. Now product X requires 1 hour of machine M2. Product X requires 1 hour of machine M2 says, not M1. Okay, so keep in mind M2, so you just write 1 over here. Okay, So 1. Okay. 1 hour of machine M3 for which one? Product X. So just write 1 over here. Okay. Next, product Y requires 2 hours of machine M1. Y requires 1 hour of machine M1. Okay, just write 1 over here. 2 hours of machine M2. 2 hours of machine M2. So just write it over here. Okay. Next, 1 hour of machine M3. 1 hour of machine M3. So now you have written all the resources allocations. Okay. Now what does it says? The profit contribution of products X and Y are rupees 5 and 4 respectively. Okay. So you can write it over here like that. Say profit in rupees per unit. Okay. So just write it like that. 5, it is given 5 for X and 4 for Y. 4 for Y, just that. After the formulation of this, as it I have written 0 as because no requirement of M1 for this particular X. If you are able enough to make this particular decision matrix for this solving LPP program, then you are 80% step completed. Okay. Now just you have to write the objective function subject to constraints, that is the constant function, and the non-negative functions. That is the last step of this formulation of LPP. So this is the main thing. You have to chalk it out from this particular problem. If this is you are able to do this particular matrix, then you are ready to formulate the LPP. Okay. Now, if you want to write it in a in a more clean way or legal way, okay, prescribed way, you can say, I will write it over here for you. You can write it like that. Say I will write it over here. It is machine. Okay. M1, M2, M3. So now say these are the products. Okay. I can write it over here as X and Y. Okay. Like this. The same thing I am writing in a more clear manner. Okay. And say this is the availability. Availability in hour. Okay. So this is a more prescribed manner, you can say. Okay. The same thing I am writing it over here. So now you have already formed the LPP. So just write it down. Say 0, 1. Okay. This one is 50. Okay. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 1, this is 1, this is 15, and this is 25. And here we have the profit in rupees per unit, it says. Okay. So write it per unit. We have per unit. Okay. So this one says 5 per unit and this is 4 per unit. So this is the ultimate matrix. Now just from here you have to write the formulation of LPP, that is the objective functions and the other things. Okay. So let us write the objective function first. It says, the problem says we have to maximize the profit. Okay. You have to maximize the profit. Look, the profit contribution is given over here, so we have to maximize the profit. That is the maximization problem is our. So the step I have already said, maximize Z we have to write. Okay. Equal to the maximize. Look, X and Y are the products, so 5 into X plus 4 into Y will be the maximization of objective function. Okay, maximize Z 5x plus 4y. Okay. Now the subject to constraints. What are the constraints? Okay. For machine M1 we have 0 into, you say, x and 1 into y. So I can directly write 0 plus 0 into x into plus 2 into y should be less than equal to 0 and 1 should be okay, na? 1 should be here. So it will be subjected to 0 into x plus 1 into y should be less than equal to, how much? 50 is given over here, 50. Second one, for machine M2 will be 1 into x plus 2 into y, this one. Okay, 25. For this one, 1 into x plus 1 into y should be less than equal to 50. Okay, now this is, it is known as linear structural constraints. Okay, this can be termed as linear structural constraint. And one more thing, x comma y is always greater than 0 because they are the products, so no negative idea is over here, so we have to take this always as positive. So these are also known as non-negative constraint. Now I think you have the idea of formulation of LPP. If you have any more idea, you can write in the comment section. So we'll have another session of solving your confusions or problems. Now we will proceed to the graphical solution of the LPP. Okay. So previously we have solved this particular problem. I mean to say, we have formulated the particular problem. That is the maximization objective function. You can say the maximized at 3x1 plus 5x2, and the constant functions are also written over here, subject to x1 less than 4, 2x2 less than 12, 3x1 plus 2x2 less than 18, and x1 x2 greater than 0. So from here we can conclude that the decision variables are x1, that is the number of p1, and x2 is the number of p2, and objective function are z, that is the total profit. So this is the maximized z is equal to 3x1 plus 5x2. And the subject to constraints are raw material. For A we have 1x1, this one, plus 0x2 less than equals to 4, 0x1 plus 2x2 less than 12, 3x1 plus 2x2 less than equals to 18. We already have solved. Okay, and x1 x2 greater than equal to 0. So this portion is the main constant and this is the non-negative constant. This portion you already know how to formulate the LPP. Now this particular LPP we are going to solve using graphical method. Okay, so stick with the video till the end, so you'll have a clear idea of how to solve LPP using graphical method. Okay, so let us start solving graphical method. First of all, I will write the problem over here. It says, say LPP by graphical method. Okay, and let me tell you what is the limitation of graphical method first. Okay, we are having graphical method and simplex method also in your syllabus also. So today we'll be having the graphical method. Next day we'll be solving with simplex method. Simplex method, it is a bit lengthy one, but we have to use simplex method as because this graphical method has some limitations. What are the limitations? That is very important, you should know before solving this particular problem. This graphical method we can only apply for solving. I will write the limitations. It is limited to only two variables. Only two variables can be solved, using graphical method. That is the limitation of the graphical method. So you have to proceed for some other methods like simplex method that you have in your syllabus only. So simplex method can help you solve for more than 2 variables. Okay, so that is the limitation of the graphical method. You should keep in mind always. Okay, now let us solve the problem with graphical method. So the problem was somewhat like that. Maximize z, okay, equal to 3x1 plus 5x2, subjected to, I can write it over here, subjected to x1 less than equal to 4 and 2x2 less than equal to 12. 3x1 plus 2x2 should be less than equal to 18, and the non-negative constants are x1, x2 should be greater than equal to 0. That was the problem. Now we have to solve it graphically. Look, this is a very simple mathematics, you can say geometry also. You have already solved this type of geometry in your 9-10 classes. Okay, just you have to construct a graph and you have to solve it. Okay, so let us construct a graph. How to solve? Look, say this is the graph. Say this one is the your x2 variable and this is the x1 variable. Okay, just you have to simply construct a graph. And look, you already know this one. This is the plus plus. Okay, for both variables. This quadrant is both plus for both the decision variables. This is plus minus, you can say. You already know, you have the concept of coordinate geometry. Okay, this is also having minus minus for both, and this is having plus and minus. Okay, so this is the positive, this is the negative, this is the positive, this is the positive, this is the negative, you know, and this is also the negative side. Okay, so just keep in mind this one. Okay, I will solve the problem now. Now we have plotted a graph using x1 and x2. You can say this as x-axis as x1 and y-axis as x2. Now we have to plot these equations. You can give them the name, say these are the equations. Okay, so we have to plot this all the equations in this particular graph and we have to solve graphically. Look, first equation, for the first equation we have x1 less than equal to 4. So you already know how to plot a x1 equal to 4. Say this one is 4. So it says x1 equal to 4. Say for the time being it says x1 less than equal to 4. For the time being, let us take x1 equal to 4. Okay, for simplicity in constructing the graphical method of LPP. Okay, so let us have this particular line. So it says it can be termed as the first equation, and it is the I can write it over x1 equal to 4. Okay, and less than equal to 4, it says less than. So less than equal to 4, it can be depicted in this particular graph as, say this is the origin 0, 0. So less than means it is always directed towards origin, you know, that is the meaning of the less. Okay, so now it is clear to you. Now come to the next portion. It is x2 less than equal to 12. Okay, so x2 less than equal to 12 means x2 can be taken as, you can say, 6. Okay, so now x2 is 6. How can to draw? You know how to draw x2 equal to 6. So x2 equal to 6. Say this is x2 equal to 6. Okay, so you can write as x equal to 6. Okay, now it also says less than, so that means it will be directed towards origin. Okay, so this is the second equation we have. Okay, now the third equation. Third equation says 3x1 plus 2x2 less than equal to 18. Okay, so you know how to put, just like the intercept form. You can have the intercept form like that, x1 by 6, you know, plus x2 by 9 equal to 1, you can write. Okay, so x1 will be 6, that means x1 0, 6 and x2 will be 9, 0. That will be the two coordinates of this particular straight line. Okay, like you have already know, you have the concept of this intercept form. I will write once more for you. This is the concept. Okay, just like that. Look, here I have, for those who are not having the knowledge of intercept form, this is the A, say, and this is the B. Okay, so this is the concept behind the intercept form. So just x1 0,6. So okay, so choose arbitrary point, say 0,6, this one. Okay, and choose a point over here, say this one as 9,0. Okay, so you have to close it up like this one, like this one. Okay, this is x2. So this is your third equation, and it is also says it less than equal to 0, so it is directed towards center. Okay, now we have 1 and 2. We have also two equations left, that is, one is x1 greater than 0, x1 greater than 0. X1 greater than 0 means this line x2. Okay, so you can write it as here like that, x1 greater than equal to 0. Greater than equal to 0 means away from the origin, and another one is x2 greater than 0. x2 greater than 0 means this one will be x2 greater than equal to 0. Okay, so now we have plotted all the straight lines, all the equations in this particular graph. Now we have to find the feasible region from we will get the optimal solution of this particular objective function for maximization of the profit. Now let us see where are the corner points. These are the known as the corner points in graphical method of LPP. These are the corner points, as because you can see, look, this direction, okay, this direction. So this is, you have the feasible region. You can see all directions are, so this is the closed space and this is the feasible region for LPP. Okay, so in order to find the feasible region, you have to see the directions. Okay, where are the directions of the straight line, and you have to construct this corner points. Okay, so these are the corner points. So how many corner points are there? Look, say this one is A, okay, this one is B, say this one is C, this one is D, and this one is E. Okay, so now you can see A, B, C, D, E. So how many? You can say around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 corner points you have. Okay, now for these 5 corner points, you have to check which point are giving you the optimal solution, that is the best solution. Now how to calculate? Already these coordinates. These coordinates this is the 4, 0. This is the 4, 0. This is 0, 0. Now how to find this coordinate? You already know. These two intersects. These two lines intersects. Which lines? 1 and 3. Look, 1 and 3 intersects. So just put x1 equal to 4 in this particular equation. 4 into 3, 12. Goes to this side, 6. So x2 equal to 6 by 2, that is 3. So x2 equals to 3. So in order to find the intersection points, you have to put the two values of this particular equations that they meet in that particular equations. Okay, so for this particular equation we are getting, you can put the value and you can have the coordinates. Okay, so we are having 4, 3. You can check it over. Okay, I am not solving for this particular point. Which two lines meeting here? This line, that is the third line, and this line, this is the 2 line. So you just solve these two equation, number 3 and number 2. You just solve this two equation. There is the x2 equal to 6. You have to put over here, then you will get x1. So x2 and x1 are the coordinates of this particular, this point, coordinate of this point. Okay, so we are having 2, 6. For this one, we are having 2, 6. Okay, now for this, you already know this one, this coordinate you already know. For this one, this is a s equal to 6 line, so you can say 6, 0. Okay, it will be 0, 6. Okay, so now we can have, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 4 corner points, and we have to check the optimality at each and every corner points. Let us check. So say we have the function z equals to 3x1 plus 5x2. By putting each and every corner point's coordinate, we have to check which one gives the optimal, or say the maximization of the profit. Okay, so let us calculate. Let us calculate at the first point. Say Z equal at A. Z at A. Z at A. Z at A means 0, 0 gives you rupees 0. Say Z at B 4, 0, 4, 0. That gives you 12. Z at C. Put Z at C, the values of C. Okay, that is 4, 3. Okay, this is the 4, 3. So just put 4 and 3 over here. You will get rupees 27. Okay, Z at D. What is the value of this particular coordinate? 2, 6. So just put 2, 6. Okay, 2 and 6 just put over here. You will get rupees 36. 2 and 6. Just put x1 equals to 2 and x2 equal to 6. Z at E. Z at E, put value of 0, 6. Okay, so it will give you rupees 30. 0 at x1 and 6 at x2. So it will give you rupees 30. Now from this, the maximum value you can say that is a 36. So it is the maximum value of Z, or maximum profit you can say. Okay, so it is the maximum profit or optimal you can say. Now optimal. What is the optimal? Now best, I can write it over here. Best or optimal solution obtained at 2, 6. That is the coordinate. Optimal solution obtained at 2, 6. This is not the optimal solution. Optimal solution is this one, or say optimal value is this one, but it is obtained at 2, 6. Okay, that is a difference. You must keep in mind. And the maximum profit at this particular coordinate you can say, okay, at say 2, 6 is how much? Rupees 36. Now one more thing you have to keep in mind. 2, 6 is the optimal points. Okay, so 2, 6, what does this signify? 2, 6, look, we had this problem. P1 and P2, they were asked find the number of P1 and P2 to be manufactured so as to maximize the total profit. Now this P1 and P2 have to find, that will give the total, maximize the total profit. These values 2 and 6 are the values of, you can say, P1 should be manufactured 2 units and P2 should be manufactured 6 units. So now it is clear to you. So these 2 and 6 are the products of P1 and P2, and at this particular 2 and 6 we will have the maximum profit of rupees 36 for this particular, this particular problem. Okay, I think you have clearly understand the graphical solution as well the formulation of the LPP. If you have any queries or any doubts, just write in the comment section or you can call me. Thank you for your patience.